I don't really like making these how-to videos, but I wanted to show y'all, or you get to go through this process with me to see if I could make this work out. So on the V Rod, when it comes to this Memphis Shades Fairing, the headlight, let me see. Hopefully y'all can see that. The headlight kind of sits way in. So I went on Memphis Shades website and I found out that this headlight, I guess it's called a relocator or extension. It's supposed to. So I went on Memphis Shades website and I found out that this headlight extender, yeah, that's what it's called, the headlight extender kit for the Harley-Davidson Sportster 48 has kind of the same dimensions as this headlight mount for the Night Rod, or at least the configuration how I changed mine into the Night Rod configuration. So I'm gonna see if this actually works to bring that headlight out some. Now, first things first, we gotta completely remove the Memphis Shades fairing, which is luckily super simple. So now I'm gonna completely remove the headlight. I can't remember which tools I used, but I never know which tools I used. I basically just grab stuff and whichever one fits is the tool. That feels like it fits. Cold as hell in here. And if you see everything moving all crazy, it's because I got the camera mounted to my chest and it's a little hard to pay attention to that while I'm trying to get this off. I just put that there. Okay, so I don't want to dump shit on my bike. All right, so I got the nut off. There's some washers here I don't want to lose. It's actually washers on both sides now that I'm looking at it. They're falling out. Got all my washers. I feel like I'm gonna have to pull this cord more. The question is, how far can I pull that cord? I think I'm gonna have to remove that side panel. I remember this side panel was a pain. I don't know if y'all can see it, but this side panel over here, it was a pain to get on because of how many wires I got stuffed back there. So hopefully I can stretch that wire out a little bit further, which is this one. And I honestly don't think I'm gonna be able to. So move this. I'm gonna have to go on the outside with it. Then plug it in. So I'm gonna just sit it there. Whoa, shit. I don't want it to short out. Let's just hope that's okay for now. Now let's open this up. Let's see what kind of directions we got. Hex bolt, spacers. Okay. See if this is the same, and it is. All right, so it looks like what we're gonna do. Shit. Main spacer. Got it. Okay, so let's see if this is gonna play out the way I'm thinking. Not easy. Like that. Okay. All right, so I got the bracket on back there. I just want to see if it really brings it forward into the Memphis Shades before I go tightening shit down. So let's put the fairing back on. And it did. It brought it a lot more into the housing. I just gotta get it lined up in a good manner and then tighten everything down. All right, so what I'm gonna do is line it up. I'm gonna get everything tightened down and then I'll check back with y'all. All right, so we out here on V right now. the part that I felt like would work for Memphis Shades actually worked. I was able to get the headlight more into the Memphis Shades bullet fairing, and I feel like it made it look a whole lot better, and it's gonna help me with light as far as lighting up the road. So I will put a link down in the description for anyone that has a V-Rod and you're looking to get your headlight more into the your bullet fairing. This headlight extension made for the Sportster 48 actually works, and it works great. It's a little bit of pain in the butt to put on. You need two people because you got to hold the light in place, and you know, it's some work, but it works, and it works perfect. So we're out here. It's cold. It's literally freezing, but I'm out on V. We're gonna take a little quick ride. I've been doing so much history searching into Harley-Davidson lately. Like, I just watched like a hour-long video on the birth of the V Rod. That video helped me appreciate this bike so much more. And I've watched a couple other history informational and did some research on stuff like the Sportster and things like that. So I feel like I'm starting to get that passionate love back for Harley-Davidson, even though it never completely went away, but I'm just getting a whole lot more appreciation for them as a company. So let's talk about that a little bit while we go for this quick ride. All right, let's get that cold start. I call it a cold start because it's cold as hell. Bike technically ain't cold right now, but you know what I'm saying. Whoa, there we go. Man, there's so many people. I don't understand how people roll stock pipes on their V-Rod. Like, you can't even unleash this bike until you put a pipe on it. Like, it literally sounds like a sewing machine. Like, when I first got it with the stock pipe, this bike sounded like a sewing machine. Now it sounds like a angry muscle bike from hell. It still don't have that traditional Harley blub 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 noise. Like, no bike will ever sound as good as the Sportster. The Sportster just got that lugging Harley sound. This one's a little bit faster, like, but that's because of what it is and what it's designed to be as far as being a muscle cruiser. But it sounds good as hell. Oh my God, I love this bike, I swear. So I found out, which I knew before, but I just researched it and paid more attention to it this time. Like, the V-Rod was a 6-year-long project in developing, head specifically by Willie G, which if y'all know who Willie G is, you know, he's part of the Harley-Davidson family. And I'm so tired of this thing on my arm keeps unbuckling. It's like every time I hit the power and it's flapping around. That's irritating. Let me see if I can snap it back down real quick. Hope it stays. Look, you see Elmo peeking out? Hey guys. This bike has so much torque, man. But yeah, it was designed, well, it was a project led by Willie G, where he wanted to come up with something totally different. And this is the furthest Harley has ever stepped out of their comfort zone, besides recently when it comes to like the Pan American, the Sportster S, ever in history. This is the first time they stepped out of their comfort zone. Like, even as far as the way the frame is designed, like most Harley bikes, the frame is just like a mono frame where the tube's going down the middle. And with the V-Rod, they wanted to create a frame that was kind of like a work of art. So just the way they created the frame and everything, as far as, I ain't got no gas, damn, oh well. As far as how they created the tubes using water pressure to bend them, to shape this. And the fact that Harley-Davidson is one of those companies, like, I feel like they take the most pride out of any other company in the way they engines look and displaying their engine. I feel like to Harley-Davidson, you know, the engine is like the painting or the photograph.
and the motorcycle is the frame for that. It's like their Picasso. The engine is the Picasso, and then they have a very expensive frame put around it, which is basically the wheels, the frame of the motorcycle, and the way the bike looks. But their main centerpiece on all their bikes is their engine. They take pride in the way them things look. Versus a lot of other companies, they cover up their engines with plastics and stuff like that, and the engine is a second thought. It's like an afterthought as far as how it looks. The most important part is the way that actual motorcycles look, the plastics and stuff, and then they're like the engine's hidden. Who cares what it looks like? Have y'all ever took apart some of your other motorcycles and physically seen, like, the engines they just look like a block of metal? But Harley, like, they got fins on this V Rod, which the air fins aren't even there to help cool the motor or nothing like that. It was just a design factor. They put a lot of time, effort, and research into designing how they want their engines to look, and that's something I can respect. So after doing all that research and everything, I've decided that I'm definitely gonna hold on to V, because I feel like this is one of Willie G's works of art. It's a masterpiece. It's like holding on to a Picasso. Now, will it be worth anything in the future? Who knows? It may not, but it's worth something to me, because just like him, he takes that time and effort into making bikes look artistic and the way he wants them to look. I feel like I put a lot of time and effort and thought into my bikes too, as far as how I make them look without taking them too far away from what they are. Like, I don't do the extreme customizing as far as like changing the shape of the bike and stretching them out and doing all of this. And there's two reasons for that. One, I don't know how, and two, I don't want to take away from the artist's masterpiece as far as how they wanted the bike to look initially anyway. Now, I'll add on some bolt-on parts and I'll do stuff like that, but I don't want to drastically change another person's creation. And I feel like I'm starting to appreciate motorcycles as a work of art more lately, because the more and more, because I was trying to decide and trying to think in my head, why do I love that Ducati Monster so much? And it's the aesthetics of it. It's like a work of art to me, and I feel like they've gone away from that with their newer models with the Ducati Monsters, because now they just look like any other naked bike, versus my generation of Ducati Monster, I feel like, was the last true work of art with it, which is like that Evo style where it still has the trellis frame and all of that. I feel like this V Rod was one of Willie G's masterpieces. I feel like the Sportster is our masterpiece. They still displayed that engine in the Sportster. They gave it the best sound ever, and I found out Harley-Davidson does a lot when it comes to developing the sound of their motors. It's a whole thing with them as far as miking up the room, making sure it has that Harley sound and all this and that. Like, I don't know if a lot of other companies go through all that, so they know that most people are going to take that stock exhaust off, so they want that bike to sound amazing once it's unrestricted. Once someone puts a pipe on it, they want all the exhaust systems to sound good on it and to bring out that true Harley sound, and they are some pros at that. So I'm starting to appreciate them a lot more, but I'm also realizing that I have this thing with liking the older bikes a lot more than the new stuff that's coming out. I feel like a lot of the new stuff coming out is kind of more disposable. I'm not saying with Harley, but I'm talking about with all the other brands and things like that. And even a few of the recent Harleys, I feel like they were like disposable bikes, like the Street lineup, the Street 500, the Street 750. I don't even know where they thought to drop that. Those were like disposable bikes in my opinion. But I feel like they're trying hard to get back to their roots and create legacies. I'm freezing out here, y'all. Now I know with Harley-Davidson, it's either a love or hate type of relationship. You either love these things or you hate them. But me, I feel like I'm kind of in the middle. I guess I'm that rare one-off anomaly because I love some of them, but there's others that I can't say I hate, but I just don't like. So, and for a minute I was seriously doubting the V Rod, but that's because I ain't been riding it much, and that's probably because I don't really like the seat, and I don't like that they don't have a whole bunch of parts for it. So, you know, I ordered a seat. It ain't came in yet, so I'm hoping that helps me out a little bit. It makes me want to put some more time in the saddle on this baby. But every time I get on it, when I twist that throttle, I love the way this bike rides. I'm very fond of that. It's just that I like to change a lot of things on my bike, and this bike doesn't give you the option to change as many things, and because it's discontinued, it's so hard to find stuff for it. But I guess that's starting to become fun for me, actually finding stuff and looking for stuff and being a part of the communities like that VRod Owners Club and Facebook and stuff. I'm learning a lot. Like before, I wasn't as engaged in those groups and communities, but now I'm jumping on there more, and I'm finding out a lot more stuff that I didn't know. And there's access to parts. You just got to go into the right communities. So when I get back to the house today, because I felt like I needed to take a ride to make sure I still had all that love for the V-Rod before I ordered more and more parts. When I get back to the house, I'm gonna order this license plate relocation kit. I might look into ordering an integrated tail light, because that back section where the plate is on here, that gotta go completely. Like, I hate that. That has to go. It's a must. It must be gone. So I'm gonna go ahead and start fixing her up. So this year you'll end up getting to see V complete, which is not a lot more I'm going to do to it. I may do some adjustments to the airbox. I may try to get a tuner for it. I'm gonna clean up the rear end of it. I'm gonna get a new seat and backrest so me and Miss Ryda can do some longer rides. I say it every year, I always say it, I'm gonna take some longer rides. I'm gonna actually take some longer rides this year if I can get time away from work. I've been working a lot lately, and I'm gonna start growing more appreciation for what I bought this bike for in the first place, which was getting out and doing some riding. The one thing I'm having trouble finding though is some type of saddlebags, whether they're leather or I don't even care. I just want some saddlebags that I could throw on real quick. It could be leather strap overs, something that I could throw on fast when I'm gonna go out of town or something, and then I could take them things back off when I'm in town, because I'm not a saddlebag type of guy. So if any of you know of any type of saddlebags that I could get for this bike, comment down below. Let me know about that. Let me know, do you think it's a great decision that I decided to keep the V-Rod? Either way it go, I don't care. It's my bike, my life. I'm doing what I want. I know I always ask for advice because I like advice. I like hearing y'all feedback because it helps me sometimes making my decision. But in the end, you know, the decision, I'm the one that got to live with it. Just like getting the seat I ordered. It's not really that low profile. It's going to take away from the looks of the bike a little bit, but it's going to be more functional for me and what me and Miss Ryda want to do, for her to be able to actually go on some rides with me, like, and not have to worry about her ass being completely sore. You know, we ain't little 18 and 19-year-old youngsters no more, so you know, we can't be taking that type of the ass pain, because it take a couple days to recover from that. Man, but I'm gonna go ahead and enjoy what little time I got left before this sun drop and it get cold as hell. I'm gonna check y'all out in that next video. Make sure y'all stay tuned. This year we gonna get it in. We gonna get to it, you know what I'm saying? All right, I'll holler at y'all.